Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is video number 4, and if it's your first time here, I just want to say thank you. Today we're going to be talking about the difference between living in the US and the difference between living abroad in Europe. That's the whole reason why I created this channel, was to discuss topics that I find interesting and share my experience, because this is my first time out of the country ever. I've never traveled like this before, and it is a crazy new experience. So I felt like it would be a good idea to document those things and just shed my light on how I'm feeling out here, what's the differences, what I like, what I don't like. And yeah, so I guess we should just go over some topics and let's get into it. Well, the first one I want to talk about is healthcare. I feel like that's the most important one. You're nothing without your health. So it's very different out here. I remember living in the States. I was always scared to go to the doctors or go to the hospital. That's always like the inside joke. They'll grab you, they're dying. They're like, don't call the ambulance, because it's like $10,000. It's insane. If you're not covered by insurance, your medical bills can skyrocket in a matter of hours. So I remember I got in a car accident and they took me in the ambulance. They said, hey, we're going to have to take you in the ambulance. And I remember they charged me for everything. They charged me for the Band-Aid they gave me. They charged me for the gloves that they used. It was insane. So after that experience, I knew that it's going to, like, if I'm not covered, I don't go. And it's kind of like that with dental too. If you're not covered, if you don't have dental insurance, just a cavity can like cost you hundreds of dollars. So out here, it's a little different. The universal healthcare, everybody has 70% off. If you're out here, it goes for everybody, equal opportunity. And I find that amazing. Um, if you're working, then another 30% gets knocked off. So that means your whole medical expenses, for the most part, is taken care of. You pay for some of it, but then it's a write-off. They send you the money right back. And I remember when we moved out here with our son, he's in preschool, so all the little kid germs and stuff, he was getting sick quite often. And we would do doctor house calls. We would take him to the emergency room if he was like getting too sick. And it was never a problem. It was never a lot of money. And that's just really a blessing, just being out here and being able to not worry about those kind of things. Like if you're sick, it should get taken care of, and that's that. I can't stress how like important that is. I wish the US would follow those habits, because I feel like that's a huge factor in the US. I don't know if I'm ever going to go back because of the healthcare system, because your health is so important. So that's just my take on it. This is just my experiences. I'm not bashing one country or the other. Obviously, I'm an American citizen, so like that's my home, but there is certain things that made me like, think about moving, and that's why I'm out here in general. So that's the first one. Let's go over the next one. The next one I want to talk about is a huge one, because you do it about 90% of the time when you're in the States. It is cars versus walking and public transportation. This is kind of a gray area, because if you do live in the city like Chicago or New York, I feel like this is a pretty common thing when you're in like a busy city. But for the most part, what the other 80% of the United States is not built like that. So you do all of your driving for everything. I remember I would go to the grocery store. I had 3 grocery trips I would have to take, because each grocery store had different items. So I would go to Sprouts, Target, and Whole Foods. And I remember it was just like, all right, boom, boom, boom. We're at Target. We gotta go to Sprouts now, jump back in the car, leave that parking lot, leave that plaza, go on the freeway. Here we are at Sprouts, jump back in the car, go 5 miles that way. Now you're here at Whole Foods. It's really rare when you get all of your grocery needs in one plaza. You're gonna have to make multiple trips. And that was always like a bummer for me. I wasn't a big fan of driving, especially in California. Everything is really stretched out. You want to go, like, everything is 20, 30 minutes away, everything. So I miss driving. I really do. I miss getting in my car and just going where I want to go. but I also like the luxury here of just everything so compact. If you need to get to that side of the city, you just get on the subway. It costs you €2 for a bus or a metro ticket, and you're there in 15, 20 minutes. I like that. I like that there's no responsibility of car insurance, car payments, not having to worry about getting in a car accident, the car maintenance. It's a lot of things that cost money. And I don't want to get into like conspiracies and stuff, but I feel like that's why they haven't built a fast line train from California to Arizona, or a fast line train from Arizona to Nevada. I feel like there should be a fast lane train for Denver, California, and Nevada that gets you to and from in 3 hours. But I feel like a lot of money is made from the automobile, the gas, all of that like comes into play, where they're like, why would we make a train when people are going to drive anyways? So that's just my take on that. I really do, as far as the United States goes with cars, I do miss the storage that comes with it. How you would grab all your groceries from Costco, and then, oh yeah, Costco is one I used to go to too. Grab all your groceries from Costco, and then you throw them into your car, all in the back seat, all in the trunk. You have 2 weeks, a week worth of groceries, and you're good. You're set. You don't need to go again. Out here, it's a little different. Our fridge is super tiny. We have a really tiny kitchen. I'm probably going to go into another video where I show what a tiny apartment in Paris looks like. It's not tiny, but it's definitely smaller than what I'm used to, and that's another subject I'm gonna go over in this video. Groceries go, you go to your local grocery store that's down the street. You're not gonna go to the bigger grocery store that's 20 minutes away, because you're gonna have to carry all your groceries on the subway. So you go to the grocery store that's nearest to you. Luckily, we have a big one over here, so everything we need is at that one store, which is cool. But and also another cool thing that we do here is, I mean, that this is a state thing too, but we order our groceries now. I feel like it's way more efficient and like not cheaper. Actually, yeah, it is. Honestly, like if you're getting just regular groceries and not meat and produce, if you like to pick out your own produce, I would say order your groceries. It's been a lifesaver. My wife needed oat milk yesterday, and we buy it by like the case. We get like 4 of the Oatly things, and it's like $15. And I just ordered 5, and they got delivered in 30 minutes. And I love that. I love getting our groceries delivered. That's everywhere though. So yeah, that's my take on cars versus walking and transportation. Honestly, I'm gonna have to give it to, if I were to put this on a scale, this sun is really in my eyes right now. If I had to put it on a scale, I would say I really do miss. Damn, I can't put it on a scale, because I really do miss driving. I miss having my own car, but also like not having a car and dealing with the maintenance and the payments and all that stuff. So I'm gonna give it to walking, of course.
Flat tire. You should be walking.
Oof. Yeah.
All right, let's get on the next subject. Okay, so another subject is, I feel like it's important now because I'm a new parent. I have a toddler, and so that is childcare. So if you're not a parent and you don't care, you can skip ahead. But if you're thinking about being a parent, or you are a parent, then this is the perfect spot for you right here. So childcare, let's talk about the states first. So I've been hearing a lot of rumors. I haven't experienced it myself. I didn't get that far into being a parent. I moved out here when our son was 1 year old. So I've been hearing a lot of stuff on TikTok and on the internet about how childcare, daycare is really expensive. Parents are spending anywhere between $1,200 and $1,300 a month. And I find that insane. I talked to one of my friends. She said she got lucky and she's spending $600 a month on childcare. Still sounds like a lot to me. It sounds normal, but it also sounds like a lot, because compared to what we're paying out here, it's like, whoa. Let's talk about some stuff that I do like about childcare in the States. As far as the schools go, when your kid's in school, they're in school. Like, you drop them off at that building, they stay in that building. out here in Paris, it's a city. I don't know like if all the schools are like this in Europe. I'm probably just talking about Paris in general. It's a city, so there's times where I'm out in the afternoon running errands and I see a group, 20 kids. Some of them are like 5 years old, and there's one parent in front or chaperone in front. You got another in the middle, and you got another one behind. Maybe there's four parents in total, but for the most part, there's kids just walking around in the city. I don't know where they're going, but they leave the school and you'll see them walking maybe to like a park or something, but that's just like maybe I'm an overprotective parent, but I don't want my kid walking around the city just in the afternoon when I'm not watching him. And it happens all the time. It's fine. I never hear anything bad happening in this kind of situation, but it just makes me nervous that this is a busy city and you remove the kids from school and they go somewhere else. I don't know where, but I just don't like that. I've also been on the metro station in the middle of the day where it's kind of busy, and same thing. There's a group of little kids and the teachers are taking them somewhere, maybe on a field trip, I don't know, but I don't like it and I don't know what to do about it because my kid's going to start kindergarten soon and then they're going to be on their way to, first, second, third, whatever is going on. And that's going to happen. He's going to be going on the city one day and I'm just going to have to be cool with it, I guess. And I don't know how I feel about that yet. That's just my take. But as far as daycare goes, it's really inexpensive out here. A lot of it, some of the time is a write-off too, depending on your situation. And so we drop him off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and his lunch is taken care of. His afternoon snack is taken care of. It's a really nice facility, and I'm really excited for him to start kindergarten here in a couple months. So that's just my take. I don't have any childcare as far as other subjects. Oh yeah, yeah. One more thing. I don't like out here, maybe it's just Europe in general, but I miss the like kid-friendly places. There's not a lot of that out here. There's just mainly parks and that's about it. Like I miss like Chuck E. Cheese and I don't know if you guys know about it. It's like Boomers Family Fun Center, like just places like that, like Chuck E. Cheese, where you you can take your kid inside this building and just let them run around for hours, and they have a blast. And then you just chill and maybe eat some pizza, and that's your weekend. It's a Saturday and your kids are home, and you just like want to get out of the house, but you also don't want to like be monitoring them the whole time. Those kind of places are really fun and inexpensive, and I miss those places. We took our son to an arcade a couple weeks ago, and it was not really little kid friendly. It was mainly for like bigger kids and adults, like Dave and Buster's kind of deal, but no like kids section. So that's just my take on childcare out here. The parks are beautiful. I'm at one of the parks by my house right now. The parks are amazing. Uh, there's a lot of museums and stuff to do. There's a lot of stuff for kids out here, but I miss those little niche places like Chuck E. Cheese where you just spend $10 and they go crazy for 3 hours. But yeah, that's my take on childcare. Let's get to the next subject. Next thing I want to talk about is style and what's going on in the US versus what's going on in Europe as far as fashion goes. Let's talk about the States. I feel like the States, it got really, really lazy. And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just that even me, for instance, I would wear basketball shorts or sweats and a hoodie 90% of the time. I would even go to the mall or Target, and just be in my cozies. And that's not the case out here. You'll never see anybody right now unless they are actively doing something like running. You'll never see like this guy right here. He's on his bike. He's wearing some jeans, tennis shoes, and a jacket. And for the most part too, not a lot of people wear hoodies out here. Like I'm one of the few exceptions, and that's because I'm American, that wear hoodies. Hoodies aren't really a thing out here. It's more like jackets and coats. but that's about it. So let's get jump back because I'm jumping around too much. So as far as the states go, I feel like you're not really getting dressed unless you're like really going somewhere, like somewhere that you want to do and you really enjoy, or you're going to work. But for the most part, a lot of people are just in their casual cozies and they'll wear workout clothes even when they're not working out. And that's just the fashion out there. I feel like it's really just comfy versus out here, like the second you get up, you're putting on regular clothes and you're ready for the day. Like if I was recording this video in the States, chances are I'd be wearing sweats, but right now I am wearing dress pants. I'm outside at the park at 10 o'clock in the morning wearing dress pants. Sounds crazy, but it's totally normal out here. So you'll never see someone at the mall wearing a sports bra and sweats like how you would as someone seeing at Target. It's not normal. So I think I've dropped off my kid at school maybe 3 times wearing sweats, and I've been to French class, and my class starts at 9 in the morning, and I've been to class maybe 3 times with sweats. It's just not a thing out here. And as far as like the fashion goes too in Paris, it's not like how you see in the movies where it's Paris Fashion Week all the time. There's not a whole bunch of people dripped out in designer and they're like it's Devil Wears Prada type of style. It's not like that out here. I'm not talking smack, but it's mostly mom and dad style. Like you'll see a couple people like, "Ooh, she got that coat on. It looks good on her." Or, "Oh, like look at him in his suit. He looks really good." But for the most part, it's just like very, I don't know how to put it in words without sounding like rude. I'm not trying to be rude. It's very just mellow. Just like a casual dress shirt with some slacks and some tennis shoes. Total dad look. And then the moms, they dress like moms. It's very normal out here. Yeah, I don't know. That's just like fashion, fashion is subjective. You wear what you want, what makes you feel good in your own skin, and that's that. But as far as like the actual garments go, nobody out here is wearing workout clothes unless they're going to work out. And no one's wearing pajamas out here unless they're in their house about to go to sleep. So that's the only difference. As far as like a scale, I kind of do miss like I feel like there's a little bit more style in the States, but not really. I just miss like how like I don't know. I feel like I dress too young out here for some reason. I'm sure there's people my age that are dressed like me. I just haven't found them yet. But for the most part, when I drop my kid off at school, I'm the only dad that dresses like this, and it makes me feel a little out of place. But that's just my take. I feel like I dress too young of a parent out here, where I should be dressing a little bit more mature. I don't know. I like what I wear, so it's whatever. But that's just my take on style out here. Take it or leave it. But yeah, let's get to the next subject. I had to move spots real quick. The sun is really getting in my eyes. But if you made it this far in the video, you're about halfway through. We have a couple more subjects, but if you made it this far, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and like it. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers by the end of this year. That's one of my vision board goals, and I feel like it's obtainable. You just got to put in the work. I'm at 44 subscribers right now, so almost halfway there. So I think it'd be really cool if you were the first 100, because I'm going to keep these videos going. I have a lot of experiences to share, and if you made it this far, chances are you're still interested. So if you haven't already, please do me that favor. It means so much to me. But let's get back into the video. We're going to talk about our next subject, and that is housing. And off the rip, I'm just going to give it to the States. I really do miss the bigger living lifestyle as far as houses go. There's no houses in the city at all. It is very much the same. Like all these apartments behind me, hundreds of units, chances are they're all the same inside. They're very small and very similar. I've been house hunting, looking for a new apartment with my wife, and A lot of them are the same. We're just like picky on location, but it's very everything's very similar. And I know I'm just talking about Paris. I'm sure there's houses outside of Paris. Of course there are, but it is really like I like the city life, but at the same time I don't like how everybody's in a small little box. I miss going to my friend's house 5 miles that way, and they live in a house that's completely different from a house that's at my other friend's house.
You have your own McDonald's? No way!
I just miss the diversity of units and how everything is big, small. Our old apartment in California, it was a 2 bedroom, 1 bath. The living room was huge. It had a dining area. The kitchen area is pretty decent. And even downstairs, we had a parking spot and we had a storage unit with our parking spot. And the storage unit was probably as big as our living room in Paris. So it's just like, man, I miss that. I miss the space. I feel like my creativity out here outgrows the space that I live in. I'm trying to find every little pocket I can to create something as far as because I have a clothing brand that I started in the States and I'm trying to get that up and running again out here. I'm struggling so hard to find the space to produce these items that I want to make. The only benefit I could say about tiny living in the city, like a smaller unit, is it really does put you to the test when it comes to your minimalism game, I guess. If you're claiming you're a minimalist, try moving to the city into a small unit and then go from there. Because when we moved, we got rid of a lot of our stuff in the States because we packed some stuff up and shipped it over here. And we weren't going to get those items that we shipped for like 90 or 120 days. And so when we moved, we were out here already for 4 months. So we got like the essentials that we needed. We got a bed, we got a table, we got a desk, we got all the stuff that we needed. And we were living comfortably for those 4 months. We're like, yeah, this is nice. I like how the apartment's coming together. And then we're like, oh my God, the stuff is getting shipped over here soon. Where are we going to put all of it? We like exerted all of the room in here. Like there's no more room for stuff. And sure enough, we got all that stuff shipped over here and we were like, oh my God. We ended up getting rid of like 80 or 90% of it. We sold it like on OfferUp and stuff like that. We have like a French OfferUp out here. But as far as like needing all that stuff, we definitely didn't need it. So if you're thinking about moving from the States to Europe, just come with a few of your clothes and your tech, like your laptop, computer, whatever. We had to ship our MacBook, or not MacBook, our Mac computer, our PC Mac. You know what I'm talking about. The Big Mac, not McDonald's, no. We had to ship our computer out here, but that was about it. We shipped our Peloton bike because they don't have Pelotons out here in France. They have them in the UK, just not France. That's about it. We kept only a couple things, little bits and scraps here. But yeah, so if you're thinking about moving abroad, just really sell everything. Sell everything you got. You'll feel so much better. You'll feel like way lighter. But yeah, tiny living does improve your minimalism game. We have a smaller closet, it's more condensed, but we live really nicely. I don't find ourselves like we lack a little bit of storage, but we're not like stuffing everything everywhere. Like it has to fit. If it comes down to that, then we get rid of stuff and we really do little breakdowns of what we need and what we don't need. So yeah, that's my take on city living as far as housing goes. Let's get to the next subject. Next subject is traveling. And I'm going to give it to Europe on traveling, of course. It is crazy. I've never been out of the country, like I said. And just last year, I went to London and Amsterdam. And then this is still in France, but I went to Nice, the Mediterranean Sea. Insane. I've only went to the beach like in California, and the Pacific is so cold and so violent. The waves are crazy all the time, but that's how I learned how to swim. I learned how to swim in the ocean and just how to deal with the cold water. You just plunge in and the beach is fine in California. It's just really cold all the time. But uh, I didn't do a lot of traveling in the States because it's so expensive. Oh my gosh, the little kids. I didn't do a lot of traveling in the States because it was so expensive as far as flights go. I remember like I would want to go to LA when I was living in Arizona, and that's only a state away, 6 hour drive, hour plane ride, whatever. But it was like I was looking and it was like 500 round trip, or even sometimes 500 or 300 one way, 500 one way. If you're lucky, 500 round trip, and that's just to Arizona. I'm like, damn, like I'm not going to New York or anything. I'm just going a state away. I feel like the the prices of plane flights in the States are like super inflated for the distance you're going. I went to London for the weekend and my flight round trip was like $178. Crazy. Amsterdam, went to Amsterdam. The flight round trip for my wife and my son and myself was like $258. So it's just mind blowing. Oh, yeah, even Nice. I think when we went to Nice, we flew there too. Not that expensive. And then if you don't want to fly, you can take the train. Train rides are only 3 hours. I could wake up in the morning right now, go to Amsterdam, have coffee with my friends, hang out for the afternoon, and then take a train back and make it here by dinner time. Same with London. Like that's crazy to think about that you could do that. My wife was thinking about getting her hair done in London. So it's just a day trip, just like get on the train, 3 hours, get your hair done, take the train back. Insane, insane. Just blows my mind. And like I said earlier with cars and walking, it blows my mind that there is not a train system built like that in the States for California and Arizona. Totally a huge disappointment. Okay, last subject is going to be food. Not too much to say. Only thing I want to say is that it is really different as far as fast food goes. I feel like fast food is a staple in America because of the car system. So you want McDonald's, Taco Bell, In-N-Out. You just drive up, drive through, go around, dip out. That's it. Like out here, there's fast food, but there's no drive-throughs in the city. So I feel like all the stuff I'm talking about is Paris issues as far as like the housing or drive-throughs because there's drive-throughs outside of Paris. So it's just like but my brain can't wrap around it because all I've been to is like cities, like city of Amsterdam, city of London, city of Paris. Like I've only been outside of Paris for a little bit when I was staying with my wife's parents and in the middle of nowhere in France. It was beautiful, but definitely a different experience. And that was cool. I was glad I got to go there. It was really cool, really interesting. It was an older town. I mean, everything is older out here, but you know what I mean. Drive-throughs are non-existent out here. So everything is walk up and everything is chill out here. So like you want to go get some food, chances are you're sitting down at a restaurant for like an hour. There's a couple of get up and go places. There's Chipotle out here and things like that, but yeah, it's more casual. You'll see people sit at a restaurant and talk and just hang out for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and all they get is like just a Coke, or like just a coffee and maybe a pastry. It's really different out here as far as the eating culture. Um, I do a lot of cooking in my house, so but we can talk about groceries. As far as groceries go, it's really cheaper out here. I'm really like upset about how crazy inflation is in the States. I remember when I was getting ready to move, how much things were getting more expensive, and it was really like burning a hole in our pockets because I remember how much groceries we used to get versus how much groceries we were getting, and oh my gosh, like for instance the thing of Oatly we get for our coffees, my wife likes the Oatly barista blend, and out in Whole Foods, maybe even Target, I feel like Target's like $5. Whole Foods, it was like $7 for that little carton of Oatly. Out here it's $2.36. Crazy. And like cereal is still around €3, maybe 4, but now I'm hearing, I even saw, I remember I wanted to get some Fruity Pebbles, and it was like $6 for the small box. And it's like, oh my God. So I know exactly what's going on in the States with inflation. I'm not okay with it. I wish there's something I could do about it. I wish there's something you guys could do about it that's watching in the States. But that was one of the main reasons. Rent was getting super expensive. Food was getting really expensive. And there was just, my wife and I sat for months and weighed out the pros and cons of what would we be better off with. And it's just out here. It is definitely, but like I said, I'm not bashing one country or the other. I love seeing when Europeans move to America and they're super excited, they're super stoked, and they like their experience. I have a friend who's in the music industry, and he's from France, and he lives in LA now, and he loves it. So it's just apples and oranges. The grass is always the grass is always greener on the other side. Just, do what makes you happy. And that's about it. I just want to say thank you again for watching this video. I know I've been talking a lot. There's a lot of experiences though. If you have any suggestions for more videos, let me know in the comments. I think the next one I might be going over our apartment. Just, things going on in life. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.